Hi guys, this is Postdoc Chronicles week number 136. I'm currently waiting for my noodles to cook. So while waiting, let's gonna do Postdoc Chronicles, and I'm featuring the game here called Kaze and the Miracle Mask. No, not Miracle Mask. That's Zelda. Kaze and the Wild Mask. So this game, it came out, March 26, 2021, which is a very important date in the Nintendo Switch because that's also the day that the Monster Hunter Rise, one of the biggest games for the Nintendo Switch, came out. And there are like a very small number of people that whose interest in Monster Hunter also intersects with platforming, because like I know like more than 10 people who play a Monster Hunter. I'm pretty sure they're not like interested into games like this, but yeah, this is a very cool game. So initially when you look at it reminds me of something like a Klonoa. So you have here on my funky S on the Wonders One color Kaze no Klonoa, because this character Kaze, like the rabbit character, looks very reminiscent of Klonoa. Like the first time you look at him, you really thought it's Klonoa. He has like a long ears, and then he uses his ears to to glide and to attack and to spin and all these things. But the nice thing about Kaze and the Wild Mask, so when I initially played it, when it opened, the backdrop again, it reminded me of Shantae, the sea backdrop at the horizon, very nice scroll layers of scrolling backgrounds, very similar to Shantae. But then when I went into the gameplay, that man, you can see right away the source of inspiration, and it's of course Donkey Kong Country, the Donkey Kong Country series. So even up to the you collect Kaze within the level Kaze, it's very similar to Donkey Kong Country where you collect Kong, and so it's that Donkey Kong Country, it's like an homage to that game. There are levels where you have like very similar to the barrels in Donkey Kong Country, where Donkey Kong jumps on the barrels and then you go tuk, 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 and then in here it's like an arrow, so Kaze would go into the arrow and then he will be shoot around the level. So it's very inspired by Donkey Kong Country, and speaking of that, that means it has some very good platforming levels, and also hard. Donkey Kong Country has always been known to be harder than the mainline Mario series. But of course, personally, I love the Mario series, but I also love the Donkey Kong Country series. Like the platformers are a bit harder, and it's different. Yeah, the feel is different from a Super Mario platforming series. So this is very inspired by Donkey Kong Country. So if you want that Donkey Kong Country itch, yeah, check out Kaze and the Wild Mask, because yeah, it's currently out right now on the eShop. And then yeah, I've been playing it. I haven't, if you see in my background, my right there, the box right there, my limited edition Monster Hunter Rise. I haven't been playing it, but yeah, like I said, I always show this because it reminded me of Klonoa. I'm also playing Kaze no Klonoa. In fact, I just finished it, Kaze no Klonoa, on the Wonders One. And if you're wondering what this is of course the funky S. I have other videos discussing this. But anyway, yeah, let's go to the postdoc now. So last week I gave my final presentation for my QT, finally. But again, it's the final presentation, because majority of the to-do lists are done, but there's still like a one checkpoint that we still have to finalize. This has to do with the shower weight. So the only thing, so if you look at the status of my qualification task right now, it's on the pending state. They're now waiting for the qualification task note. So the moment we figure out these problems with the shower weights, then I add that to my QT note, and then I upload the final qualification task note, and then that should be it. But yeah, the thing with this shower weight problem is that it seems to be that every time you turn on Dire and Vincha in Pythia, it seems like the other weight names that you introduce on top of the nominal, they don't get read. So on default, when you turn on the uncertainty variations, and then you have the uncertainty band list, so you have the list of the different weights. In default, example, if you run a revet when plotting, it does see those other weights. But then the moment you turn Dire, the moment you turn on Vincia, even though if you look at the log file, even though you turned on that uncertainty and all the shower weights are there, they don't get, it's like they're not part of the generated event. And so Giancarlo has this suspicion that maybe maybe the authors consider dire as Vincia as their own uncertainties themselves, so they're like a some sort of another variation. So that's why Rivet is not saying it. So Chris, one of the Rivet experts, he thought that the reason why we're not saying is because in if it's like in a debug state, people would put AUX in front of the weight names, and so by default Rivet is trained or is designed to ignore these tags. But then when I look at the names, they don't have the AUX. They really only have the default, the default weights in the when I look at the log file, at least for the log for the diary and Vincia. But then for the default, it's there. So we're still gonna figure it out. I'm gonna try look at it on the local on my laptop, Pythia, basically outside Athena, and then see where the problems lie. See if indeed in the vanilla Pythia, diary and Vincia are indeed considered separate uncertainty variations. Okay, but speaking of Athena and the Atlas, I'm also in the PMSSM. I mentioned before that there were like problems with the merge event file. So we were able to figure out the problem. The thing is, you have to make sure that the event files, individual event files that you are combining, have the same names. But it's not just, I have, because initially I have different event files. I merge them, and then simulation does not run on the merge file. It runs fine on the individual constituent file. And so the thing is, we discovered that each constituent file should have the same name. But then you don't have to just, pick the old constituent files that you have that were named differently and then rename them to have the same name and then merge them. No, it's not like that. You have to generate them such that they are named the same. Otherwise, the sim will not work. So basically, I'm regenerating, the PMSSM. I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow, because right now, going to the next part is I'm working on the MUED draft, because like I mentioned before that we were hoping to submit the MUED draft, like I believe Friday after Easter, but I got busy with my final QT update. And then in fact, we were also planning to submit it before the Easter break. But then, when we were meeting with the collaborators, some of them still wanted to add some stuff like, we should do this. And so, yeah, eventually more were added. So I'm still incorporating those into the draft. Hopefully after it, we won't be adding anymore, because we've been working with this paper basically for more than a year now. And then hopefully we can submit it. But anyway, guys, yeah, I'm working on that. That's why I'm doing my noodles, because tomorrow I need to simulate the PMSSM scan thing. Okay, but anyway, yeah, this is a short Postdoc Chronicles. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Postdoc Chronicles week number 136. See you next time, and bye bye.